All right, we're ready to create another building. So go ahead and determine where's the corner of this building going to be. I'm going to say it's about here. Okay, we draw our converging lines from the top of our vertical line to both vanishing points. Now again, just like we did with the building on the other side of the page, this building is going to end a little bit behind our first building. So I'm stopping my line there. I'm not going to go through my first building. And because of the way these two buildings are connected, I can't actually even end the building on this side because the ending is completely behind our first building. So I can only end it on the other side. So here we have our corner. Slide towards our left vanishing point and create that vertical line. And then erase the extra converging line that you no longer need. And you can even erase the horizon line through the center. Now hopefully, if you look at this building for a second, you notice that something doesn't look right. And that's because we didn't go from the bottom of the corner to the vanishing points. So you'll remember we have to go from the top and the bottom of our vertical line to both vanishing points. So if I line up my ruler to the corner, sometimes you might want to make like a little star above the corner right when you make it, just to remind yourself which one was the corner. If I line up my ruler to the bottom edge of my vertical line and to vanishing point 2, because the building is on the left side of the page, so I go to the right vanishing point for the bottom edge, and I draw that converging line. If I wanted to, I could go through the building, but I'm not going to. And there we go. Now we have that little space in between the two buildings. Okay, and if I do the same thing on the other side, you'll remember that that bottom edge is already there because it is the edge of our sidewalk, so we don't even need to do it. We now have 3 buildings. Let's make another one. So again, determine where the corner is going to be. This one's going to be a little taller. And we're going to go from our top corner to both vanishing points. Stop when you hit another building. Okay, then we line up our ruler to our corner. Remember, that's our corner. Slide your ruler over towards one of your vanishing points. It does not matter which order you go in. And determine where your building is going to end. So I think this building is going to end partially, actually we'll have it end before it hits this building. So here is my perfectly vertical line. And then I'm going to slide my ruler over towards the other direction and draw my next vertical. Now again, hopefully you recognize the bottom doesn't look right because we're not quite finished. We could go from the bottom corner to the left vanishing point, but we don't need to because it's already there, the edge of our sidewalk. But we do need to go to the opposite direction. So from the bottom of our corner to our right vanishing point, or vanishing point 2, make sure it's perfectly lined up, and draw that converging line. You could continue if you're confused about where it ends, but I know that it's going to end at this edge of my building. Now's the time where the eraser becomes helpful because there's all these extra lines that are a little confusing. So I erase any lines that are outside of the 2 verticals, which are on the outside of the corner. So that's why maybe it's a good idea to put a little star or some sort of way that you can recognize where the corner of your building was, because you know that anything that falls outside of these 2 edges needs to be erased. Any converging lines, and then of course the horizon line. Okay, we've got a beautiful city taking shape. I'll do one more building over here. So we've got our vertical line. This one's going to be a short one. And we're going to go from the top to the left vanishing point, or vanishing point 1, stopping at a building edge. From the top to vanishing point 2. From the bottom to vanishing point 2, we don't need to. From the bottom to vanishing point 1, we do. Okay, now determine where that building ends. So I'm going to say this one ends behind this one, so we can't see where that one ends. But we can determine where the right side of the building ends. So that's lining up our ruler to our corner, sliding it over as far as you'd like it to go, making sure your ruler is still parallel, and drawing that line until it hits the sidewalk. Extra converging lines can be erased, as well as our horizon line. Now we have a beautiful rough outline of a city.